Hi, I'm Pam Rack, and I'm with Provider Magazine here at HCA NCAL National Convention in Phoenix, Arizona. And we're talking now with Bob Van Dyk, who is President and CEO of Van Dyk Healthcare in northern New Jersey. So Bob, welcome.
Thank you.
This is a huge year for Van Dyk. Do you want to tell us a little bit about everything that's going on?
Just quickly, this is our 60th year in business. My dad started the company 60 years ago. I took over 20 years ago. So this is a very big year, 60 years. I think it probably makes us one of the few family-owned, organizations left that have been open this long.
I think you're right about that.
I know there are some others. I know Kelly Rice Shields, her family, and Bill Levering and his family, but there are fewer and fewer, I think, family-owned small operations left going around the country, and I kind of have this fear that with all the changes going on in healthcare, we could see that continue. That the small providers we will struggle at times, but I'll let you ask more questions.
Okay, sounds good. We're going to talk about healthcare reform because that is probably one of the biggest changes, but I'm curious, because you've been in this business for so long, has there been anything as big as the Affordable Care Act to shake up the industry?
It's all relative. Mm-hmm. Every time something big changes, we feel it's the biggest thing we've ever seen.
Right.
I think this is, in many respects, it's a little different, and that usually the big changes tend to be one area. Whether it's regulatory, whether it's a reimbursement system, but now I think as a profession we are getting hit from a lot of directions with regulations, reimbursement changes, the way we do business. At least before, what we did was we adapted to change. Now I think we're really getting hit with a lot of change at one time.
Right.
And I think that's what's causing some of the challenges for smaller operators, because the amount of resources that we need to address the changes, we're more limited. We can't spread those as a larger company who might have a data person or a quality person or a department that actually handles a lot of things. We are all doing it all, and it becomes a bit more challenging for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everything happening at one time, tell us how it's impacting the operations at Van Dyk Healthcare right now.
Well, we've always tried to be ahead, and being involved with American healthcare, as I have over the years, I feel has been a real advantage because I was part of those changes. I could see them coming, I heard them coming, and so we at Van Dyks have always tried to be prepared before it occurred.
Right.
Okay? And so we have implemented a lot of changes in our company. My dad started the company 60 years ago. I would say if 20 years ago, if he had 60 admissions in one building in a year, that was a busy year.
Right.
Last July, we had 60 admissions in the month, and this past July, we had 105 admissions in 1 month.
Wow.
So we're really providing a high level of post-acute care. And that's the kind of change that we're seeing is, I remember the days when you'd hire a nurse because she got burned out in the hospital. I'm now looking for cardiac trained nurses, highly skilled nurses. It changes our payroll. We're adding much, rule of thumb used to be nursing staff on days, half the amount for evenings, half the amount again for nights. I now run evenings and days, same level of nursing staff.
Wow.
So the cost of care is really going up because of the acuity. The thing that's probably keeps me up at night is the fact that I can't control a lot of things. We're seeing change being placed upon us. We're doing our best to adapt, but we're not in control of certain aspects.
Right.
The hospitals, obviously, they don't want to see readmissions.
Right.
So I'm investing a lot of money into our company, whether it's through electronic medical records, whether it's through data assessment. In fact, one of the, can I mention names, is Comms is one of the newest vendors that we brought on. Being able to do regular ongoing assessments every shift, analyzing it, everything we're doing is now being geared towards what is it that the hospital is going to be looking for from us as a partner?
Right.
And so we look at that and say, well, that's going to make a difference on whether an ACO sees us. And then when bundling comes in. So it's a constantly, we're having to, I've never used a lot of big vendors. I've never had contracts with consultants.
Right.
And I'm finding as a small provider, I have to use outside people, more and more outside people, and it's being at a show like this week, American Healthcare's annual show. This is huge because I am meeting with vendors more than I've ever met with vendors before.
Right.
I'm also seeing vendors I've not seen before, and I'm seeing equipment I would never have considered before.
So the way things are going, we'll see another 60 at least. So
That'd be nice.
it would be. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, man.
Take care.